Welcome to our popular program, Political Arena. A Political Arena is a program where we discuss political happenings in our country, Nigeria, and other parts of the world. I'm John Glover. I'll be your anchor on today's edition. I'll start by saying a Happy New Year to our viewers. It's the first Political Arena on a Friday for the year 2026. This year promises to be an exciting year, and we are set to give you all the latest happenings in the political terrain in our country and other parts of the world. Today we shall be taking a look at 2025 in retrospect. We want to see what happened politically in 2025, but we'll start with affairs in Delta State because we are in Delta State. But to do justice to that topic, we have a clergyman with us. He is Bishop Wilson Omokoro. Bishop Wilson Omokoro is the Vice President of Pastors Forum for Sustainable Development. Bishop, you are welcome to our show.
Thank you. Good morning.
All right.
Good morning, dear times.
All right.
Happy
So,
New Year.
thank you. All right. Now, we want to look at the 2025 in retrospect. But before then, let's look at the state of the polity, what actually happened in the political setting in Nigeria, what is happening. We go over to Rivers State, where it seems like 1 week, one trouble. They are never out of trouble when it comes to the politics of the politics in Nigeria. So let's quickly see what is happening in Rivers State. We saw yesterday the State House of Assembly initiating an impeachment move against the Governor Sim Fubara. So let's see very quickly what is really happening in Rivers State. What is happening, Bishop? What is happening in Rivers State?
Well, I think Rivers State has come to the point where, in fact, is becoming a very big concern to all Nigerians, and if not globally, because, like you said, it is like 1 week, two troubles. You know, what is happening in Rivers State is just a game of power, and then wanting to control the total affairs of Rivers, to be a godfather of Rivers State. I think that is just political power, just to gain that power and be the god of Rivers State. And of course, we saw that this whole problem is coming from one quarter, from one name over time in Rivers State. And that, of course, you know, is the FCT minister who, of course, for me, wants to be the Lord and the God of Rivers State. I think that is the problem of Rivers State.
All right. The president has he has intervened twice in this Rivers political crisis, and after the intervention, it seems all things will be normal, and then after some time, the crisis will come back again. Even after 6 months of emergency rule in Rivers State, and then he intervened again. The governor came, and he and his godfather, former governor Nyesom Wike, came out together and say the crisis is over and all that. But again, a few weeks ago, we saw them banter words in the media coming up to at each other's truth. Now, why is it that this crisis in Rivers State keeps occurring? Why is it difficult to solve?
It's difficult to solve, like I said, because one man wants to take preeminence of Rivers State, and that is the FCT minister, who of course was the governor of that state for about 8 years. And we all saw how he ruled in Rivers State. He was almost like the Lord and God of Rivers State. And of course, he boasted that he brought all the people, both local government chairmen, even those in House of Assembly, and even the present governor, into power. And so because he brought them into power, so he wants to, you know, wants to remain as their God, wants to remain as the Lord of Rivers State. And so the resurgence of this whole issue, I think the peace accord or agreement that he had, that the president intervened, I think where this whole thing is coming from is the strike of the governor defecting to APC and becoming APC member as the governor of the state. He becomes the leader of the party, and of course that will strike the FCT minister. that he's taking over the leadership and the power of the party in Rivers State. And so for him to regain that power and wants to stay in control, he has to come up with different tactics. And that is what, so what we are seeing there is just game of power. He wants to remain in power, control Rivers State, and be the god of Rivers State, which of course is not a good thing to hear, because nobody did that to him. So if you refuse to step down and allow this young man to rule, to do his work, there's nothing bad. Support him. But he wants to control because he felt he has a say over Rivers State. I think that so it's just a game of power.
All right, now like Yusuf Wike will say, Iyendeba, agreement is agreement. And so when he was bringing or supporting the Sim Fubara to power, he said there was an agreement reached, and now Fubara is breaching the agreement. Don't you think that Fubara would have been loyal to his godfather because he signed an agreement and he was brought to power?
When he was a governor, did he agree with any of the things with Amechi and with Odili? When he was a governor.
So it's a payback time.
Who did he sign agreement with when he was a governor? How did he treat those who were governors before him? He didn't come into power by himself as a governor. How did he treat those people that helped him to come into power? We are all here. We know how he treated Jonathan. We know how he treated Odili. We know how he treated Amechi. We know how he treated most of these godfathers in how he put them aside and became the Lord. So if you brought in Fubara and you said it's agreement, one thing, bring out the agreement. Let us see the agreement.
Okay.
Let's see the agreement. Because you will not bring, you are bringing in somebody to be a governor and you are dictating the agreement. And of course, the young man, of course, if he wants to be the governor, he will agree with it. But now he's the governor. And we saw the first time before the emergency rule. The young man was calm. The young man was like following you. He's a gentleman following you until he even started moving for impeachment. That caused the intervention of Mr. President. Now, that is over. You came back now. The young man has come back to rule that, to lead that, Rivers State. You are coming in again to talk about agreement. He is no longer in PDP. For me, every agreement you had with him
has expired with PDP.
Has expired with PDP.
So it means that he's coming to APC now. It's a political somersault.
It's a somersault. It's an aberration. So every agreement you had with Fubara is with PDP, and he's no longer in PDP. So you cannot come and meet you. In fact, we don't even know where you are now. Whether you are not in PDP. You were expelled from PDP, and you still have your faction in PDP. You are not in APC. You are coming to tell an APC governor now that we have an agreement. Agreement with who? So the agreement you had with this young man has expired. So coming to now you want him to come up with that agreement. It's not just game of power, and I think he's just heading to his.
No. What can save Fubara? Because Fubara seems to be a drowning man who is just looking for who can hold his straw to survive. Because we have 23 members out of the House signing his impeachment and all that. Although the APC has come to his rescue, do you see him surviving this again?
Clover.
Yeah.
I think why the 23 members of the House of Assembly are doing all this is that they are still playing to the gallery, to Wiki. Are they not members of APC?
Yes.
Now the APC chairman in Rivers State had made a statement. The APC secretary, national secretary, had made a statement. The APC publicity secretary had made a statement. If you want to come to Rivers State, resign from Abuja, come and play your game. Then two, don't come into APC to play your game because you are not a member of APC. And there's no way APC Rivers State or APC National we watch these 23 members impeach even though they have their constitutional right, but whatever it is, they have their own procedure. So after you have done the voting and you pass your motion and all that, you will appoint a judge to
Yes.
I mean, they will hear the panel and all that. There's no way APC, in fact, Zodema, the chairman of APC,
Governor's Forum,
you know, he's not even in good. So there's no way. All these, they are just games. They will come. Probably they want to please Wike. What you say we should do, at least we are doing it. But they know that it's just a dead end. It will not come to pass.
So it's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere.
There's no cost for
It's
alarm.
not going anywhere, because if APC allows this house to impeach Fubara, it tests bad for APC, and those governors who defended to APC will now begin to if APC governor is impeached by APC House of Assembly in Rivers State, that means they honored the dictate of a PDP man who is not in APC. Then their future is in danger, and there's no way Mr. President will even allow that. For that I know. This thing will end. It's just drama. It's just drama.
It's another Nollywood drama.
After this one, you see another one coming up again.
So season 2.
Rivers State, until this election and whatever 2026 is over, we will continue to see drama in Rivers State.
Let's look at the effect of all this on the governance of Rivers State and the people of Rivers State. What will be the effect when the governor is at loggerhead with the State House of Assembly?
Well, I think they say when two elephants fight, the grass is the one. But I still commend Fubara. At least it's one of the grounds they said gross misconduct, that he's spending money out of the that is not budgeted for the president. But I think Fubara, the whole distraction, I think is still trying to see how he can carry out his responsibility as a governor in the state. But the issue is that when these things are happening, from the very times that are happening to the emergency rule, I think it's the Rivers State people that suffered it. But I also wonder why Rivers State people will allow all this kind of nonsense, even the kings and all that. Well, the kings as well. We saw the other day where Wike was talking to a king.
The king was
addressing the king like you are addressing a councillor. That's to tell you, over time, Rivers people had allowed this man to penetrate, to have a deep root, authority over them, both from the traditional circle to the political circle. Because he started this thing even when he was the chairman of a local government. And he started deepening his root. Like they said, he that pays the piper calls for the throne. So over time, he has all the traditional rulers and whatever they have eaten from his table. So he can walk into a traditional ruler's palace. The way he spoke to that traditional ruler is not the way he spoke to Asari when he went to visit Asari. It's not the same way he spoke. So I was like wondering, why will a man have these guts enough to be talking to a traditional ruler like this? Is because over time they have eaten so much, allegedly, from his table, so he can talk to them anyhow. But I think Rivers people should rise up to this.
Well, I think we should let's come up with what will be the solution now to all this? How can this be resolved amicably?
I think probably secretly, I think the president should call Wike to order.
Okay.
Because all this that is happening is almost also a disgrace to his government. Because Wike is a minister in this administration. So you cannot be partly in PDP and you are not coming to, wanting to unseat. In fact, having that guts to say that this present governor will not go for second term. I mean, you are not in the party, you are not in the APC. And if that happens, it's a disgrace to this administration. So first, I think the president who appointed him should, because his backbone, the person is really looking up to, is the president. So the president should call him secretly to order. Look, this tension, this thing you are doing, calm down. Then the Rivers people should come together, not the just political set. The elders and the stakeholders in Rivers State should call him to order and tell him stop this thing, because at the end of the day, all of you are from Rivers State. You are all indigenous of Rivers State. So what you are doing now is not as if I mean, it's not bringing any benefit to Rivers State, so you have to stop this. I think that is it.
Well, I think we just look at two more areas before we go now. Now, let's look at the impeachment notice that was sent to the governor. We saw some of the reasons for the impeachment, gross misconduct, and all that. Like the spokesman of the Rivers State House of Assembly, when he came yesterday on national TV, he said it has nothing to do with Nyesom Wike. It's just against the constitution, that the governor has violated the constitution, and so they must take it up with him constitutionally. Do you see this as just a smoke screen? Or
smoke screen? What will he say? Will he come out and tell the public, you are not talking to children? Yes, we know you have constitutional rights when the governor probably misbehave or is out of line, then you have the right to do that. But why now? When the administrator was in Rivers State, he presented a budget because there was no House of Assembly. He took a budget to the National, and the National approved that budget. And of course, he didn't finish it before he left. So at that budget that it did not finish, would somebody not continue to utilize that budget? Of course. So that is it. So don't come and tell us no external bodies, not because of Wike is this. We can't believe you. We can't take that. The person behind, because the statement of Wike is in tandem with your own statement when you say you will not relay, you will carry out the instruction of the constitution of that. The man who is also fighting the same man said he will not stop, because if he stops and this man comes for second term, his political career is gone. So don't tell us, and we know who the person who brought you guys into the house. So I just follow your master's instruction.
All right, but what would be your advice finally to the Governor Sim Fubara?
For me, Governor Sim Fubara, I love the guy. He's a gentleman.
Is there a gentleman in politics?
Yeah, sometimes gra will not take you to the end.
Okay.
I think where that guy really struck the chord, where he hit Wike, because from what we saw on social media, allegedly we don't know, is that you will not leave PDP to another party. Now, when Fubara now left PDP to APC, that is where destroyed the spine.
That's the joker.
That is the joker. Destroyed the spine, the strength of Wike. That is why today, instead of it to be in Abuja, he's going around campaigning, telling lies and doing all kinds of nonsense. So I think Fubara should be focused, should not be distracted, to carry out his duties as a governor, for Rivers people, and do the best, because at the end of the day, if you really serve Rivers people and he's doing that which is right, the House of Assembly cannot stop his re-election. Neither will Wike even stop his re-election. He will come back because Rivers will speak.
All right, thank you very much. I think as you can be part of this conversation, just call the number on your screen, 091-5906-8290. The number is displayed on your screen. You can call to be part of this conversation, so that let's hear your own contribution towards this. But just before we go straight to 2025 in retrospect, what are the lessons to be learned from all this?
The lessons to be learned from all this is that our democracy in Nigeria, I don't know what to call it, because the way we have generally in Nigeria play our democracy, we have given too much heed to, instead of building institution, the democratic institution, we are building power around individuals. So we have allowed individuals to overtake our democracy, so that we are seeing personalities. Then two, we have allowed money to define who we are. The more money you get, the more power you get, then you can go away with anything. You can do anything. So today, our democracy is not for the people, it's for individual. They play it, the elites play it, and give to the masses whatever they want to give to the masses. So I think the lesson we should learn here is that we should begin to come back to practice democracy the way it should be. And I think from the next election, I think the citizens should come out and speak. But because of the poverty and because of how politicians has impoverished our people, money will always play a bigger factor in our democracy in Nigeria. And because of that money consciousness, it's hard for we to get the real democracy in this country.
All right, thank you very much. I think let's come back to our topic, 2025 in retrospect. How did we fare in 2025 in Delta State? How did we fare in terms of governance, in terms of the standard of living and all that, security wise and all that? How did we fare in 2025?
Well, if you want to put it, to itemize it, in governance, I think retrospect 2025, I think it's okay. I will give it at least maybe 60.
60,
yes,
okay.
Yes, 60. I will give it 60 because we really, since our governor took over power, I think we have seen some changes. We see some changes apart from the fact of the defecting from PDP, which
was a major
wanted to cause, but at least because of his work and the way he is carrying out his responsibility, people were not too concerned about that. I think in governance, I would say yes, he's doing well. Then in terms of infrastructure, of course, we are seeing what he's doing in terms of infrastructure. 2025, I think that is very fine. The area of security, he also has tried, apart from the Ogwashuku and some pocket, I think we have had relatively, peace in Delta State. And I see how he also have gone to communities to also advocate that at least there must be peace so that development will continue to thrive in Delta State. So for me, I think 2025 is not a bad year. Then in terms of individual welfare and all that, I think we have to continue to pray to God to our standard of living to increase. So more should be done from the government, especially on social investment, so that people can be pulled out of poverty. So
one of the major things we saw politically in the state in 2025 was the defection of the governor from People's Democratic Party to the ruling All Progressive Congress. He defected with members of his cabinet. In fact, the entire structure of PDP was pulled into the APC. Will you say, looking at from the defection till the end of the year, because one of the reasons given was that we want to align with the federal government so that we can benefit more things. Did you see this? Did this defection benefit Deltans, or we're still waiting for the benefit?
Well, I think the defection, of course, when politicians want to jump from one party to another party, there will always be one reason for them. They must give up one reason to the public why they are leaving. I think I don't think it will really benefit Deltans in terms of, because they are now in APC. Because since they are in APC, we have not seen much of what has come from that area. The agenda of the governor in Delta State is what we pray to benefit Deltans, not just whether you join the party APC, But I don't see that to be an advantage. But that is the reason why they defected. But we all know part of the reason why that defection took place, And that is exactly what Wike failed to. If I would go back, you see, the predecessor, Okowa, he was, at least he's in APC now.
Yeah.
And you see how it was smoothly done. Tell me if it was only the governor that defected and the president did not defect. It will bring confusion. So there is wisdom in playing this. But my brother there in Rivers is only gra. But you see how Delta State is, running their affairs, and everything is going smoothly. That even at the point where it's supposed to cause some crisis, there's a way they came together and called for the stakeholder into this meeting, and they were able to resolve. Even the APC candidate of 2023, they all came together and at least they settled their matter amicably. I think that is how it's supposed to be, and that has also helped Delta State, because if there is crisis in governance in Delta State because of this defection or that, it will also affect Delta. But thank God he applied wisdom to handle it. So joining APC will not really bring much benefit to Deltans.
All right, now let's look at the agenda of the governor. The agenda of the governor. Let's see how he was able to implement the more agenda in 2025. How was he able to, what would be the pass mark? In which area did he really gain more strength in 2025?
I think the area he gained more strength is the infrastructure.
Okay.
He gained more strength, and that almost want to cover the other aspects, you know. So it's just for us to say, hey, Oga, you have done well in this area, but you have to also concentrate on this area, especially as we have gone into, because that infrastructure is just there. I think the projects are going on. So you'd have to, this 2026 before the next election, these are the areas we also want you to see, you know, make efforts to come up. So I think infrastructure actually take the
now let's look at the impact on Deltans. This infrastructural development that we saw, how did it impact on Deltans in the outgone year?
How it impacted on Deltans is, first, for a thing to impact, one, when the people see that the governor is working, especially providing something very visible that they can see, and of course that will also benefit their economic life and ease transportation and routes, you know, different places they have to go. When they see physical development taking place, that first will give a kind of a sigh of relief to Deltans that yes, our governor is working. And with that mindset that governor is working because they are seeing the projects that are going on, will bring a kind of satisfaction first. Once that satisfaction is there, then you begin to also have hope that since he's able to do this area, then his promises on this area, he will also bring it to pass. So I think that this infrastructure this past year that he brought in gave much relief to Deltans that we have a governor who, at least beyond these 4 years to 8 years, before he will finish his tenure, I mean, Deltans will really be happy that they have a governor.
Now let's look at the quality of job done. The quality of the job done, because at a point in 2025 we saw the governor going out to inspect projects with sometimes he hold a machete and try to cut and see the quality of job. So let's look at the quality of job done and supervision, because some of those things he did we've not seen them before. The governor coming himself to, and even had to set up a whistleblowing policy and all that to ensure these projects stand the test of time. So what is your own take on this?
That is the strength of the governor. That is what really gave him this credit from the people, that we have a governor now who will not sit in the office or just send commissioner of works to go and investigate and look at the projects that have been done, or the contractors will just come back and say, we have finished the project, governor, it's time for you to come and commission, and they fly helicopter to that place and all that and commission. You see, when he came to this runabout, you know, to flag off that, he came there and he worked, he saw it. And so he's a governor who wants, in fact, you cannot spend such money and sit in your office. That is why the first credit we get to him was to bring in Julius Berger to come and do this work, because I traveled to and was at Akwa Ibom and all that, and you see the work of Julius Berger in Akwa Ibom and some other places that they have worked. You know that these guys, of course, they don't lower their standard. So for him to bring Julius Berger to come and do this project means that, you know, the governor meant what he said. So you cannot bring such people and sit in your office and allow other contractors, maybe they are doing other small job, to come and rubbish your work. No. So that's going out to go and, you know, see this project, check this project, and see what the contractors are doing. Gave him much credit, and I think I hail him for that.
All right, now let's look at his area of weakness in 2025. The area of weakness, and because we as members of the press, we set agenda. If we see his area of weakness, he can also improve in this 2026. Is there any area of weakness and you want him to improve on in this new year?
For me, area of weakness, well, I always look at the strength of a man more than his weakness.
Okay.
Because what you will call his weakness today may be an agenda or a program in his agenda that is going to take off maybe this year. So if we say, okay, in the area of social investment in 2025,
Okay.
he may not have concentrated much on that. There are things he concentrated. So this 2026, he has his own project and he has his own program on how to. So if you want to say he has weakness in this area, you don't know whether that weakness you are talking about is his next move.
Okay.
So I think he's been doing well, but we'll just say, well, since you concentrate on this area of infrastructural development, the area we'll talk about is that this social investment, where you should concentrate more on pulling people out of poverty by creating the atmosphere for, you know, companies, you know, employments and jobs for Deltans. That is just the area I would say you should have to concentrate more on.
All right, you're a clergyman, and as a clergyman, you are very close to the people, because clergymen are like grassroots leaders.
Yes.
People, you meet with the people one-on-one, you get their, you counsel them, you get the impact of whatever they are feeling and all that. So apart from this area of social investment, which area will you advise the governor also to look at in 2026? Because we just entered the year and 2026, so which area will you want him to concentrate on? Because some governors will just focus on politicking this year, because this we form the basis of 2027. This year primaries will take place and all that. So what will be your advice, apart from you've already talked about social, the other areas we want to concentrate?
What I will advise the governor is he has a good agenda called more. And since you have that as your goal, make sure, because that goal, that is agenda more, encompasses all what anybody would think about. So I want to advise the governor that that agenda more, make sure that you carry it to the latter. Make sure that agenda, because if you are able to carry that agenda that he has to maybe 90%, he would have been able to cover almost every aspect of governance in Delta State. So since he was reasonable enough to bring out that agenda more, let him concentrate, let him not deviate, because that more is not politics. That more is for Deltans, is for the people of Delta State. So let him concentrate on that more agenda, because that more agenda covers almost all the aspects that governance should cover. So if he is able to go through that more, by 2026 or 2027, Deltans will be smiling, because he has been able to do a lot concerning his program and project.
All right, now let's talk to Deltans. Let's look at Deltans, the performance, because without the people there will be no government, and without the government there will be no peace and the people. So I want you to rate the Deltans generally, our performance, area of support to the governor, peaceful coexistence and all that. What is the performance of Deltans in?
The performance of Deltans, because when I see the governor going from place to place, the massive crowd and the hailings. And in fact, what some of our market people also have said, but the issue is that, you know, because we have a country where, you know, when you have national bad leadership from the national, it seems to pervade every aspect of the country. And so people, when they start complaining, they always complain, there's hunger, because of what is happening generally in the country. But if it comes to the cooperation of Deltans with the government, I think Deltans are good people. They have tried. They've cooperated with the government to see to it that the agenda of the governor comes to pass and is fulfilled. If not, if you look at the peace and safety in Delta State, we are all cooperating to see that there's peace, there's safety in Delta State. So Deltans have performed reasonably well in cooperating with the government to see that we have good governance in the state.
I think on the final note, what would be your advice to Deltans? Just speak to Deltans. We just entered the year.
Well, my advice to Deltans is that, one, we should ensure that there is peace in our state. Every one of us must be involved in seeing that there is peace in our state. The number two is also to cooperate with the government, that the good programs of the government will cooperate to see how it should come to pass, because any chaos from any quarter will affect us. We are the grassroots. We are those who are being led. So if there is problem, the politicians can book the next flight and take off, but my mother cannot leave. My father cannot live. My children cannot live. So we who are Deltans, we should cooperate with the government, ensure that there is peace, ensure that we see to it that the programs of the government, of the governor, comes to pass. So we should maintain peace and keep our head calm for every development that should come to Delta State, at least should be established.
Now I wanted to also speak to the politicians, because this year the primaries will take place, and then it is the politicking starts from the primaries. If those that are at the party level compromise and then decided to give us a candidate that is not a sellable, a candidate that will not perform, then it is the candidate they give to us. That's where we choose from at the purpose. So I want you to speak to the politicians, especially those at the party level, that will select the candidates of the party.
Well, what my counsel to the politicians, is difficult to advise politicians anyway. It's difficult to advise politicians, especially politicians in Nigeria. You know, it's difficult to advise them because you say one thing and what they want to do is in their mind. But I would advise them that they should understand, they should know that they are human beings. Even though they are politicians, they are Deltans. Every wrong move that they would, do will affect not only us, it will also affect their families, affect their neighbors. So I want to advise them that the best candidate, the credible candidate, the candidate who can deliver must be that which they must bring to the table. So they should reduce all their politicking and bring credible candidates to be leaders in our various political parties.
All right, thank you very much. I think that's all we can take on to this edition of Political Arena. Special thanks to my guest, Bishop Wilson Omokoro, who is the Vice President of Pastors Forum for Sustainable Development. He is a clergyman. Thank you very much, sir, for your time. And also special thanks to my producer, Johnson Obaseji, those at the MCRO, Oganet Tejiri. Oganet Tejiri is also there, and my executive producer, Pastor Malcolm Oteri. I'm John Glover. I'll see you same time next week for another edition, Monday to be precise. It's goodbye from us.